There are new details on the fate of the MH17 passenger jet after Russia's defense ministry released radar data from the day of the 2014 tragedy in eastern Ukraine. According to the military, there's no evidence of a missile being fired at the plane from the territory controlled by anti-government fighters. Petrenka has details.
Regular radar images are not as user-friendly as, let's say, apps like Flight Radar. On Monday, journalists had to delve deep into the technicalities. We were thoroughly explained the data from a Russian radar in the Rostov region at and around the moment MH17 was blown to pieces. Here's the radar on the Russian side of the border. And this is the trace of the Malaysian Boeing flying over Ukraine. Time to zoom in. The last moments before the apparent blast. Still a steady trajectory. Zoom in again, and from here on, it goes curvy. Sounds horrible, but these green crosses are actually the falling parts of the Boeing detected by the radar. But the radar should have spotted the thing that destroyed the plane. We go back a little bit, and the only other green crosses we see are these. It was a Russian surveillance drone flying over the border in Russia at much lower altitudes. If the radar was able to trace the small drone, it would have surely detected a missile, say the Russian military. But no other green crosses are anywhere to be seen.
If the Malaysian Boeing had been downed by a missile from the east, the primary radar would have spotted it. But Russia's monitoring capacity doesn't extend to the south or the west of the crash site. The Malaysian Boeing was flying under Ukrainian air traffic control and ought to have been tracked by their radars.
But so far, we haven't seen Kiev provide any of its primary radar data. They're saying their equipment was turned off that day. But American satellites never go off, do they?
We picked up the imagery of this launch. We know the trajectory. We know where it came from. We know the timing.
Well, it's been quite some time since those remarks. So isn't it about time you showed us, Mr. Kerry? Moscow keeps saying it's fully committed to a neutral, transparent investigation. In fact, Russia's top arms producer even revealed elements of its top secret technology to contribute. Wednesday's findings will also be handed over to Dutch investigations. The question is, how will they be considered? And will others follow suit?
We spoke to various experts about the lack of data from both Ukraine and the US.
In the case of an international incident, all parties have to be completely open, and we've seen nothing of the kind from the other side. There is no logical reason for the Ukrainians to refuse to give full access to information. They're making the allegations against Russia, and certainly there's no logical explanation for the United States, which purports to not be involved at all, to refuse to release their satellite data.
The United States of America has all manner of highly sophisticated collection devices. It is a sure thing that they were monitoring what was going on in that part of the Ukrainian-Russian border very, very intently. If that information, this highly technical trajectory, shows what Kerry wants it to show, I don't know. There is no reason why he wouldn't show it.
Now, I'm quite certain that the Americans already know exactly who shot what and where it came from, because they have satellites whizzing around all the time, and they will actually have the data. It's gone on long enough now, and I think the families do require some answers.
Kiev and Washington insist a Buk missile was fired from a rebel-controlled village. The U.S. adds it has given evidence to the Dutch-led international investigation, including satellite images reportedly showing the launch of the missile. However, these pictures have never been made public for any type of scrutiny. Russia's military treats this refusal to publish such data, as well, suspicious.